Back again with another one. Y'all hit the like button and make sure you sub to the channel if you are not a member. And hit those notifications as well. Salute to the whole entire Lions Den, basketball and boxing. You know how I'm rocking. And salute to all the people that rock with me, day ones and new subs. I appreciate especially the people that have joined straight to the point. Appreciate y'all love and y'all support so much. And even the people that don't really rock with me and don't support me, man. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all too, man. You know, I really do appreciate y'all. I use y'all as a stepping stone. So that way when you turn your back on me, you know, I'll be able to use you as leverage to where I need to go. You know, so you never want to get mad at people that turn their backs on you. You know what I'm saying? Actually, be happy because you need to appreciate that they did it sooner rather than later, so you can see the fake in those people. And anytime anybody tries to destroy you or talk down, use them as a ladder. Use them as a ladder. You know what I'm saying? Always. With that being said, though, talking some NBA action last night. Of course, my 76ers won. I'm gonna talk about them a little bit later. We should have blown out the Memphis Grizzlies, but nevertheless, we took care of business. Um, Last night, the Detroit Pistons, led by none other than MVP candidate himself, Cade Cunningham, uh, Jalen Duren, and Isaiah Stewart, came in and just obliterated the Lakers. 128 to, I think, 103, if I'm not mistaken. I could have it wrong, but either way, they got their ass whooped. Um, they ran into a team, and I know some people are looking at Detroit and they're saying, you know, these guys still ain't a championship team. No, they are a. What's up with it, Stephen Green? I see you in a minute. Make sure you go sub to the brother, Stephen Green. Happy New Year, man. Make sure like when you come in here, hit that like button, hit that like button. You said Lakers can't bully a real team. No, they can't. They can't really bully anybody, um, especially in the state that they're in right now. You see that when when Austin Reeves is off the floor, believe it or not, Austin Reeves does bring value because guess what you're losing? Not only are you losing a plus, because I think he's like for the season, he's like a plus 20 or something like that. Not only are you losing that, you're losing scoring. You're losing 28 points a game. You're losing about what 7 assists or something like that. Maybe about 6 rebounds, something like that. I mean, he's not really that good on the bench, but you're you're losing quality play. Then if you lose Luka, which they did for a short period of time, and LeBron had to be the quote unquote savior, which he couldn't, then you see a real detriment to the team. He can no longer lead a team like that. And I take it a step further. At the stage of his career, I think that LeBron is like a fourth option. Hold on, going to allow LeBron might be on the deadline trade. Don't be surprised. Well, um, for that to happen, Stephen, it's not that simple, man. I keep trying to tell you, man, it's not that simple as you think. You have to understand, man, that he has a clause, man. He's got a no trade clause, and with that too, he pretty much has the choice to where he wants to go. Now, is he a supermax player? No, he's no longer a supermax player because he didn't get a supermax. He didn't get the supermax money, and he didn't get a supermax deal. But the way that he's putting a stranglehold on the organization, man, I believe that Mark Walters is. I believe that he is vicious enough to make something happen. Last night, Luka didn't do too well himself. I mean, I understand he had, you know, I think he had 30 something points or something like that, but he didn't shoot too well. And then on top of that, you have to understand. I mean, look, if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna cook LeBron, you got to cook Luka too. He had 8 turnovers. He had 8 turnovers, and um, while LeBron is in the negative, I think I want to say Luke was in the negative too. You said Lakers got the Grizzlies next. Yeah, we just beat. You said Lakers. I'll see you in the building, man. Happy New Year to you, man. I know you're gonna be out tonight. You're gonna be out there. Probably gonna be out there that downtown Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody. Salute to all my Texans out there. H-Town, D-Town, San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? Austin. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Corpus Christi. You know what I'm saying? El Paso, Killeen. You know what I mean? Waco. You know what I'm saying? Texas, Amarillo, Lubbock. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of my Texans out there. You know what I'm saying? East Texas. You know what I'm saying? You said Luka is not effective without the ball in his hand. Yeah, he does need the ball. And he does have a high usage rate, and without that, he's helter skelter. Unfortunately, now as far as the plus minus goes for the season, I want to give a shout out to Sports and Fitness Rants. Shout out to Sports and Fitness Rants for pointing this out. He got to it before I did, but for the season, and also Too Raw for TV, he pointed it out too. For the season, LeBron is a negative 55. He has a plus minus of negative 55. However, Luka, for the turnovers that he brings to the table, for some of the stuff that he's doing, he's still a plus 36. You have to understand, man, that this team, that Pistons team, I absolutely enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed it. They had an answer every time. Every time you felt like the Lakers were getting ready to go on a run or something like that. Guess what? Detroit has matured. The Pistons have matured enough under JB Bickerstaff, who is in running for Coach of the Year. Okay, they have matured enough to where they got an answer for everything. Cade Cunningham is evolving into an excellent point guard. He knows tone. Um, I think he had a couple turnovers and everything, but nevertheless, he was still a plus 23 on the floor. Jaden Duran, I think, was a plus one. Isaiah Stewart, monster, monster, man. I mean, I'm gonna be real. While Kay Cunningham, he played his ass off. I think he had 30, 30, maybe he had like 15, something like that, man. He had a excellent game. I couldn't remember stat. I do remember he was a plus 23. But Isaiah Stewart set the tone. Isaiah Stewart set the tone, man. Because Tobias Harris had went out. Shout out to who is Hendo because I know he was like, you know, um, he had a lot of complaints about Tobias Harris. He got his wish last night. The brother who is Hendo, he got his wish last night. It's always been slow. He's man, Octavius. Luka is never gonna be, fast. Hey, y'all get the lights up. Hit the like when you come in here. Please hit the like button. Like, Luka's not gonna be um, fast and quick and in a hurry. No, but he's still shifty. He's still shifty. At times, sometimes you kind of know where he's not gonna go. Like he had a nice little move in the mid range. I forget who he put that move on, but he got into triple threat and did a step back and hit that baseline jumper. Like that was a nice move. So, but he's never in a hurry. He's not fast or quick. Now his feet have gotten a little bit better. When he first got into the league, his feet weren't as I guess you could say his footwork needed just a little bit of work or whatever. But he's been working on that. You know what I'm saying? You saw it. Like he didn't have as crisp. Like when I think of crisp footwork, I think of Kobe Bryant. Okay, you think of Michael Jordan. Okay, you think of Hakeem Olajuwon. Just excellent footwork. Shaq had good footwork too. You know what I'm saying? He had good footwork as well. Actually, had quick feet. You said Sassa good on offense, but the Pistons they put on the clinic and they showed you what a championship team did. I mean, they matched everything. They were scoring. Assur, yeah, I forgot about Assur Thompson, um, his brother. The second half of the Thompson brothers. They had an answer for everything. They had guys on there, and they got guys on there that don't need to score. The Pistons do. They made the Lakers look so old and discombobulated. I mean, LeBron didn't even score that, but I think he only had like 17. You said, no, they don't have a bench. Well, no, I'm gonna take that back. They do have a bench. They just don't know how to. Listen, man, I'm not making no excuses for that type of excuse for the Lakers, Steven. Y'all got the talent. Y'all just don't have no cohesiveness. Listen, they were winning without LeBron. They listen before LeBron came, these guys were happy. They had continuity. I mean, you had an injury here and there, but for the most part, they were winning. Austin Reeves was winning. Luka at one point was they saying show what he could do, putting up 40 points, shit like that. Now you go and go look at the bench, man. Them guys look depressed. They look demoralized. I don't know how long Rui out. I'm sick of Lakers. No, you're not. That's your team, man. Don't even try it. Don't even try it, Octavius. I see you don't have the Lakers. I see you don't have the Lakers. Um, thumbnail no more, or emoji, I should say. I don't know. Yeah, you supposed. Hey, I remember you had Lakers, man. You come on, man. Don't say that you sick of them now. Hey, look, because when they were winning, listen, when they were winning, I'm not gonna lie to you. Everybody was like, Lakers look like a championship team, all this other stuff. And like the brother Cypress TV was telling you, shout out to Cypress TV. He told you. He said, it's just a matter of time before LeBron starts with his BS. And look what happened. You said JJ upset at the yeah, man. I mean, look, you the one, man, and I'm not letting JJ Redick off the hook either. You're part of the reason that all this is happening. Until you man up, like you sit up here, man. Look, he's one of these guys. JJ Redick is like one of these guys. Like you could tell he ain't hardcore, but he tries his best to show that he's hardcore. He's like, I'm not going through another 53 games like this. It's gonna be uncomfortable. Man, get out of here, man. You ain't nobody afraid of you, man. They're like, man, sit your ass down, man. Look, we gonna come to practice. All right, we gonna do what we want to. We gonna have dunk contests. I'm watching the 2019 from now on. Well, I've been doing that. I do that all the time. I mean, this is basketball. It's not just, I tell you, it's not just one team. It's not just one player. I pay attention to these guys. I've been paying attention to the Pistons when nobody talking to them. See, I like when nobody comes in. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about like the Pistons, or when I talk about OKC, or when I talk about Derek Queen over there in New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? Or when we talk about other guys that need to be recognized, you know what I'm saying, in the league. Nah, y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't, y'all don't want to talk about Nimbard. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to talk about Edom over there with the Sixers. Nah, we got to talk about other people, man. Kay Cunningham, he finally starting to get his light. I'm glad he demoralized. And look, and they still didn't give their credit to the Pistons like they should have. He took, man, he took care of business like he was supposed to. Kay Cunningham been doing this. During he been doing this. Isaiah Stewart coming down, monster. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it. JB Bickerstaff, he been doing this. This ain't nothing new. I've been talking about them. You know what I'm saying? I want the Pistons to succeed. You said Lakers is too drama. They are well. Listen, James, the Lakers have always been drama, but somehow, some way, when the bright lights came on, they knew how to put that to a side and actually get shit done. Let's go ahead. Let's take it back. Back in the days when it was just Magic and Kareem, when it was just Magic and Kareem, and there was drama, in-house fighting. You know what I'm saying? Magic didn't get along with his first coach. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Paul Westhead, he didn't get along with him. There was in-house fighting. You know what I'm saying? That was going on in the front office and stuff with Jerry West, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of drama in the locker room. Uh, what's it called? Kareem and Magic. They had to kind of butt heads or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When Showtime was introduced, their style of offense and stuff like that was introduced and stuff like that. Kareem wasn't liking it. He had to adapt to it. He was, had to adapt to some things, adapt to a culture shake up. You know, There were times they fought in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Everybody act like Lakers has always been squeaky clean. Then you fast forward, and then with Showtime and stuff like that, Magic and Worthy used to get into it. Magic and Byron Scott. Byron Scott got into it with everybody on there. Kareem and Worthy, Kareem and this guy. You know what I'm saying? They all got into it with each other. Pat Riley versus the whole damn team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. Then you fast forward a little bit. You of course you got the Kobe and the Shaq era. I mean, everybody knows what happened with that. They weren't getting along. You know what I'm saying? But they got 3 championships out of the deal. Then when it was just Kobe, Kobe had issues with his teammates. Teammates had issues with him. You know what I'm saying? Um, there was drama going on with Paul Gasol and all that stuff. I mean, this ain't nothing new. You said the ref calling more fouls on the Pistons. Listen, man. Listen. You got to play. Now, one thing I will say, I think JJ Redick alluded to this, man. I agree with him on this though. JJ Redick said, you got to continue to play regardless. And then on top of that, you at home. You got to continue to play. You can't rely on them. You can't rely on the refs to save the game for you. I mean, hell, they've been giving y'all shit free throws out the ass. Y'all complain about OKC and SGA going to the line as much. Well, what about Luka? The amount of time he gets to the line, and LeBron and the whole Lakers team. We don't talk about that. And I really hadn't said too much about it. Now, Brandon Jennings, man. Brandon Jennings was on Gil's Arena, and he had the nerve enough to say that uh, Draymond Green was better than Dennis Rodman, and that's his opinion. Okay, but I'm here to tell you right the fuck now, and everybody knows I fuck with Draymond, man. I like Draymond. Um, when when he was in his peak, when he was in his prime, you wanted a Draymond on your team. But there's no way in hell that I'm taking Draymond over Dennis Rodman at all. Okay. Now people are gonna sit out here and say they're gonna be like, well, he dribbles, you know, he, he scores a little bit, and offensively he's running the offense and all this other stuff. Yes, okay, I get all of that, but Dennis Rodman's impact was felt so much more than Draymond, and I don't really often say that too much. You, I'll say this: if you take Draymond off of the early championship team, you don't you don't win. You don't win the title. You know what I'm saying? A couple of the titles that could be debated, or where you take Draymond off of those teams. But here's an example of where they needed Dennis Rodman. When Horace Grant went to the Magic and they knocked Chicago out, you know what I'm saying? They ultimately knocked Chicago out when Jordan they came back and all this other stuff. They knew then that they needed a power forward that could get in there and get things done and um, bring the physicality and bring versatility to as well. Now, not necessarily the scoring, even though that Horace Grant he put up, better, as far as offense, he brought a little bit more to the table than Dennis Rodman or whatever. But that was because Rodman chose not to. Rodman understood what his job was. Rodman could guard all five players on the floor. Draymond can, but he doesn't have the motor that Dennis Rodman got. He don't have the athleticism that Dennis Rodman got. He don't have the agility like a Dennis Rodman, man. He doesn't have the mental capacity like a Dennis Rodman. He just doesn't. No Rodman, no Bulls championship in 9-7-9. Yeah, 9-6, 9-7 Bulls beat the 20. You said that's a Rodman. That's a lot of Rodman better than. But yeah, listen, and like I said, I want to make it abundantly clear. I fuck with Draymond, man. You know, but there's no way that I'm taking him over Dennis Rodman, especially at the power forward position. If I need to lock up somebody defensively and they're killing us, I mean, could at the later stages of the game you can still put Dennis Rodman on him. If there's a guard that is just absolutely destroying it, like for instance, last night with Cade Cunningham, the way that he was destroying the whole Lakers team, breaking them down with his playmaking and scoring. I'm putting Dennis Rodman on him. I'm not sure that I could put Draymond on him, the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Especially like now in a switch, maybe so. But even still, Kate Cunningham is athletic enough and shifty enough, man, to get by pretty much whoever that he wants to. And on top of that, you got to be careful because he could hit from the outside too. But anyway, all this talk about, oh yeah, well he doesn't dribble, he doesn't score and all this other stuff. I mean, you act like Draymond was a supremely gifted offensive player. Nah, he'll score when he needs to, but I mean he was a facilitator, a good communicator, had a good IQ, but I actually a great IQ. But I'm gonna tell you whose IQ was greater, Dennis Rodman. Let me tell you why. Do you know that Phil Jackson said the first person that got the concept of the triangle offense without having to ask questions and all this other stuff? It was Dennis Rodman. He knew it like that. He said like Dennis Rodman said it was simple. Carmelo Anthony had to call Kobe Bryant and they had to study the triangle in order to get it down when Phil Jackson was over there in New York when he tried to implement it and stuff. Like everybody knows that the triangle offense is a lot of NBA players will tell you it's not a easy offense to get the concept of. And Dennis Rodman had the IQ to get that down, to get that offense down like it was nothing. You didn't really have to tell Dennis Rodman anything. He understood what the mission was. And the way that he gets under opponent's skin, I think he does it better than Draymond. Now I know some people gonna get up here and they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, you're just biased because you have Dennis Rodman as your starting power forward and stuff like that." Nah, like I told you, I I give Draymond his credit and stuff like that, man. But I'm I'm taking Dennis Rodman all day. I mean, there's some similarities between them, but there's a whole hell of a lot of differences. You know what I'm saying? whole hell of a lot of differences. Like in the situation that happened with him and Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant is calling for the ball, Dennis Rodman would have gave that up, man. And he probably would have had a better chance of winning. But what did he do? He ended up going down there and then losing the ball and just doing stuff like that. You know, like you're not supposed to do anything like that. Dennis Rodman knows what his job was, or knew what his job was. He knew what his job was, man. He understood what the. But like I said, he can't take nothing away from Draymond. I mean, he's a champion. He's four-time champion. But Dennis Rodman, what is he? He's a five-time champion. Dennis Rodman led the league in rebounding for 8 consecutive seasons. Seven. I think it was 7 or 8 consecutive seasons, consecutively. Come on, man. And like I say, he was just mentally strong, man. He was going to show up every single game. He wasn't taking games off unless of course, they had to suspend him or something like that. You know what I'm saying? For I'm talking about Dennis Rodman for his antics and stuff. But other than that, you could always depend on him. Whether he was drinking, partying, smoking, um, sleeping with 1,000 women. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? Dennis Rodman was going to be there. Whether he had a hangover, whatever the case was, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was still going to show up, smelling like Jack Daniels, smelling like liquor, smelling like Hennessy. Guess what? He was going to come up in there, grab you like 30 rebounds. Plus, he had a sick ass work ethic that was out of this world that nobody talks about. It. You said, do you think the 2017 Warriors could win the championship in the 90s? No, and um, I I mean, it just depends on what rules that you're playing. But even still, in the '90s, I don't know why you saying the '90s, man. Like, all this stuff about the '90s, man. Can we start saying the '80s? The '90s was dominated by the Chicago Bulls, with the exception of a couple years, and that was, of course, the Houston Rockets and everything. But the '90s was pretty much dominated by the Bulls. They got 6 championships throughout the '90s. Okay, I mean, the Pistons got one at the start of the '90s. But let's talk about the '80s. That's what everybody need to focus on. I'm like the '90s. I'm not afraid of no damn '90s. Everybody like, oh man, nobody could survive in the '90s and all this other than no, 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 no. Y'all need to be talking about the '80s. '80s, they wouldn't have stood a chance. They wouldn't have stood a chance. I don't even think they would have stood a chance like in the '60s and stuff because I mean I know they now you got to think about the 3 point line and stuff like that, but um, you're talking about a fast pace, an extremely fast pace, man. '80s was fast pace, wasn't all slow and all that other stuff like people make it. It was fast and physical. '90s '90s actually was a little bit, they slowed things up in the '90s. The triangle offense and stuff with the Chicago Bulls, that wasn't no fast pace. That wasn't no fast pace. You said the '86, yeah, like the '86 Celtics. See, like and none of those guys were extremely athletic or anything like that, but they still played fast. Larry Bird, even though he wasn't fast, they still played fast. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to explain the ball movement. Larry Bird, like that's why people wonder why. One of the reasons why I got Larry Bird starting at small forward instead of LeBron James. There's something that Larry Bird can do that LeBron cannot do, and he struggles with. And right, my goodness, if he did it, he don't understand how much more of a weapon he would be, and that's moving without the ball. Larry Bird can dominate without sitting there dribbling without the ball. He could come off the screen. Guess what? Yaka, come off the pick and roll. Yaka, pick and pop. Yaka, you know what I'm saying? Curl around. Yaka, come at the elbow. Yaka, you know what I'm saying? You know, a pinch screen, V screen, whatever you want it. You know what I'm saying? Running the baseline. Yaka. Larry was gonna get it, and he didn't need it. He didn't need 3 pointers, and he didn't need to just hoist up 3 pointers the whole game. And he was doing it in the mid range, and he could do saying getting to the cup too. He could get to the cup too. It didn't make no difference. Brown Sugar, I see you in the building. Tried to tell you, you know what I'm saying? You hit on some good points last night. She just ignored you, boy. Happy New Year, sweetie. But besides that, gotta roll out. Like the video, share, subscribe, hit the notifications too as well. Straight to the point. Shouts out to the whole entire LDBC. Basketball and boxing, you know how we rocking. Be back later on. Till then, I'm out.